Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Law of One Spiritual Advice Podcast. My name is El. I'm here to read the Law of One, and I'm going to just make some comments on this. So this is going to be from the raw material today, and it's going to be from session 13.23. General topics is going to be harvest, what that means, I suppose, and what it means for you individually and our society as a whole. So let's begin. The quote begins with questioner asking, how does a third density planet become a fourth density? Ra answers, I am Ra. This will be the last full question. The fourth density is, as we have said, as regularized in its approach as the striking of a clock upon the hour. The space-time of your solar system has enabled this planetary sphere to spiral into space-time of a different vibrational configuration. This causes the planetary sphere to be able to be molded by these new distortions. However, the thought forms of your people during this transition period are such that the mind-body-spirit complexes of both individual and societies are scattered throughout the spectrum instead of becoming able to grasp the needle, shall we say, and point the compass in one direction. Thus, the entry into the vibration of love, sometimes called by your people the vibration of understanding, is not effective with the present societal complex. Thus, the harvest shall be such that many will repeat the third density cycle. The energies of your wanderers, your teachers, and your adepts at this time are all bent upon increasing the harvest. However, there are few to harvest. Ra, the Law of One, session 13.23, end of quote. Ooh, kind of a bummer, right? But, I hope by the end of it, I've put a little bit of a positive spin on this for you. So the harvest is small. All right, let's back it up a bit first. So how does a third density planet come to be a fourth density planet? I suppose this has a little bit of precursor we need to lay down. So we are currently a third density planet, and we are in a specific time where we're in a transition period. So we're going to be moving from the third density to the fourth density. The way I understand it is that there's like space-time and time-space. Sort of like the metaphysical portion of our Earth has moved into the fourth density part. The physical portion has as well, but it takes the physical a little while to catch up. For some reason, that just sort of makes sense to me if you think of how slow people are to adopt things and our society is. Maybe if we were more in tune with the Earth and the universe and all that type of stuff, we would feel the fourth density in a more conscious manner, but instead it seems to have all this subconscious kickback, negative feedback loops, because the nature of Earth and us and our bodies is that the body is a creature of the mind, and in essence the Earth is a sort of body, and you can think of the mind as all the minds on Earth together. So if that societal mind is sick, then you could see how that would translate to the Earth being sort of sick and not being able to take on the new energies of fourth density and use them in a manner that is helpful. But instead what happens is, because it's not being worked with properly, that energy, it's like adding too much energy to a system that can't handle it. It's like plugging your iPhone into a Tesla charger. It sounds good, there's lots of more energy there for you, it's better and stronger, but it will explode the circuitry if the mind and the body spirit complex and the society is not ready to accept it or handle it. They say here, timing wise, it's as regularized in its approach as the striking of a clock upon the hour. I somewhat disagree. From what I learned when I read the raw material, they have trouble with time. So they are saying very specifically, yes, fourth density is fourth density and fourth density is here. However, they would consider a transition period anywhere between, a decade to hundreds of years. So to you and me, who only are going to live maybe 100 years or so, it might seem like the harvest is now, and it is, but at the same time, it's very much a transition period for the physical part of Earth. Regarding the part where they talk about it spinning into a different vibrational configuration, I can't say exactly how to interpret that. It could be varied depending on your imagination. But I kind of feel like what's happening is that the people of Earth, in their mind and the way they think and the way that they're not pointed in service to others or service to self, they're just all over the place, so they can't point the compass in the same direction. Because our societies and on Earth are so scattered, makes it seem like that has in turn not vibed well with the new fourth density energies and has caused us to sort of spiral off into some, sort of like karma in a way. Like once the wheels of karma are in motion, you can't quite put a stop to it. So they indicate, it'll be the third density planet will be fetched into fourth density with a little bit of disturbance, but in essence, it'll all work out in the end. Yeah, so just reiterating that part about how the individual and the societies aren't pointed in the same direction. They're not grasping the needle, as they say here, to point the compass in one direction. If you're wanting to know specifically what they're talking about, that is because third density is the density of choice. We are here to make a choice of either service to others or service to self. Service to self is the path that is not. Service to others is the path that is, because it sort of serves the self and the other simultaneously, solving the paradox, versus the service to self exclusive path. It's sort of the way I like to throw the word exclusive in there, meaning they don't care about others. They just completely concerned with serving the self. That is the other direction you could point. So basically, either a person themselves is polarized in service to others or service to self, or maybe they're not. They fall in the sinkhole of indifference because they haven't made a choice, or they make one choice and then they make another and then they fall in between the sinkhole again. You're not polarizing if you're not making the same choice over and over and over again. And then you just extrapolate that from person to society. So obviously, if people are scattered that way, society will be scattered that way. They'll have some parts of society who are very service to others and some that are very service to self. And those are going to be at odds, and, it'll be difficult for everybody to get along and move this culture and this earth forward in a manner that's harmonious. Instead, they just fight against each other, which is, the nature of the service to self people. And I would give of the opinion that our world and the power structures, there definitely is some service to self people on this planet, and they're concerned with running things and power and control, because that's what they do, and that's their service to us. But as they do that, they also polarize the other side. So you're going to have one part of society very much pressuring and putting the pressure on for power structures, which will simultaneously polarize a different portion of the earth to go even more strongly in the service to others direction. And so if you're watching the news, I would consider that you're watching the power structure telling you how to be fearful, how to be hopeless, all of that stuff. Whereas if you actually look at the community level, generally speaking, the community level, there's a lot more harmonious things going on in terms of service to others and just hope. And so I would just, it's easy to get distracted with all the hopelessness. So, please try to adjust your perspective. Keep it small. Service is in front of you right now. You can do anything. You don't need to be overwhelmed with the state of the world. Okay, and they indicate here, thus, the entry into the vibration of love, sometimes called by your people the vibration of understanding. Myself, I like to call it love and understanding. That's the fourth density vibration, love and understanding. Anyways, they continue on, is not effective with the present societal complex. Thus, the harvest shall be such that many will repeat the third density cycle. The energies of your wanderers, your teachers, and your adepts at this time are all bent upon increasing the harvest. However, there are few to harvest. So, obviously, that sounds pretty bad. It's like all your friends and family and a lot of people are just going to have to repeat this third density. Well, I would consider that is you being probably a sort of wanderer yourself, likely if you're listening to this, somebody who's very much empathetic towards others. As hopeless as that sounds, it can be really helpful for you so that you don't have this savior mentality of trying to help and awaken other people who are using their free will to do anything but awaken. It's sad, but it's not that it's your or my place to make them wake up. Everybody will reach the creator in their own time. The only difference really is time. Some get there slower, some get there faster, but all paths will lead to the one. So if they need to repeat third density, like the third grade of school, that's for the best. It's because it's like, if you can't read, you need to learn to read before you can move on to the next grade. So no hard feelings, love you and everything. That doesn't mean that you don't love people, right? You just allow a certain detachment. Sounds so bad, right? Detachment. But if as somebody who has high empathy, it will destroy you personally, because of the pain of seeing other people suffer when all they really have to do is just pick up the baton and start running. It's their choice. It's a tough lesson, I would say, for any type of spiritual or person, or if you consider yourself somewhat empathetic or loving or caring of others in society. So yeah, there are a few to harvest. Remember that. That's okay. We're still, everyone around here, bent upon increasing the harvest. So do what you can. That's what I try to do with my Instagram posts. I just decided, hey, this material really helped me. So what can I do? Roz says, radiance of your spirit. Like, this stuff just lights my heart up. It lights my mind up. I love it. It makes me feel good. It gives me purpose. It's given me so many understandings, and so I decided to share that with others. And just obviously with the importance of daily seeking, I thought, hey, let's find a daily inspirational quote, share it every day, and hey, let's throw some art on there. And now I'm trying to expand into this type of podcast, because you can't throw all of the thoughts in my mind onto an Instagram post or in the comment section. And so here I am trying to expand even further, right? So this is what we can do. This is all information, which is my attempt to serve you in a sort of way. And also, I'm serving myself, because this gives me a lot of purpose, and I'm a sort of creative individual. And so if I'm not doing something creative or helpful, it will put me in a bad place mentally. So this is just benefit for you hopefully, and benefit for me. Everybody happy. All right, everybody, that is enough for me today. Thank you so much for listening. You can check out the links to all this material at my website, theoneinfinitecreator.com. I also appreciate the support. If you wanted to jump on my Patreon or shoot me a PayPal during these inflationary times, I understand if you don't have money, that is totally cool, but I always appreciate the love. So thank you so much for listening. I will be back again on Wednesday to share more of my thoughts. Thanks. Bye.